Okay, but like, imagine like, not only are you a weird fucking cult, but you
Well,
don't do
like your
cult
leader's
like.
Jared Leto.
All right, we don't know to the extent what type of culty things they do, but they decided to go overseas and just have a vacation there.
Are we recording?
Yeah, now we are.
Well, I think that the cult purposely makes all of his uh movies shit. I
So
think
that they
that
don't feel as bad.
Is that why all of his
not
movies are trash?
yeah, it's the
That makes
cult.
sense. Look, the only so I actually tried to defend him as Joker just
Same.
because he didn't have enough time. Like I felt like it just wasn't enough time to have like a good portrayal of him. So I defended him, and then I don't know if you guys ever saw his movie Mr. Nobody, but that was
That one's
actually pretty
supposed to be
good.
really good.
Yeah, it
That
was.
and what, Seven he was in that's supposed to be really good.
I don't know anything
Am
about
I right?
Seven, but Mr. Nobody was awesome. I enjoyed it a lot. He also had right after the Suicide Squad, he had a what's it called, a samurai movie on Netflix. I
Was it
forgot
like
what it
The
was called.
Last Samurai or Lost Samurai?
No, no, it was
13
No,
not a
Samurai?
Last
samurai.
Samurai is
It
something
was
totally
like
different.
a Yakuza movie.
Oh.
So
I
it
was
looked like it
I was
looked.
looking at Brad Pitt, by the way, in Seven.
Gotcha. Um, so this movie was I think it was the end of World War II. Um, and he was stationed in Japan, and he started hanging out with the yakuza. I forgot what the
Interesting.
whole reason was. I think he was just dating like some big shot's sister or some shit like that, and it was decent. He really had like no lines in that movie. Everyone else was doing the acting, but
Mhm.
that
Oh,
movie was
I was
okay.
thinking of Requiem for a Dream. That's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I hear that one's supposed to be really good too.
I hear it's fucked up.
Yeah, I want to know, but his yeah, supposedly his Morbius movie is trash.
18% on Rotten Tomatoes, baby. Fuck yeah.
Look, Sony's just trying way too hard to like make these rogues galleries for Spider-Man like into solo movies. I
Do you want spoilers for the end credit scene, Z? I got spoilers for it.
I am down.
So it shows that uh is it not Falcon? What's the bad guy's name? Michael Keaton?
Vulture?
Vulture. It shows that he is Vulture from Spider-Man's universe from our like No Way Home,
Right.
from that universe. It shows that it is him, and it shows him in a brand new fucking suit, even though he's in a completely different universe.
Yeah. No, that would make sense. It's
And they do confirm that Morbius is in the same universe as Venom.
but okay. So, have you read up on why the this movie is bad?
No, the only thing I read was that like 97% of it takes place like in a fucking lab. Like there's like almost nothing outside whatsoever.
That's amazing. Like, all right, I'm still gonna be talking like my same reason for not really caring about those movies. Pretty much the same reason for the Venom movies. I did say that I did enjoy the second Venom. It was short like this one. I think that one was also an hour and a half. Um, but that first Venom, I really did not like. I did not care for it at all. And same thing for this one. I don't have to watch Morbius to like talk shit about it, but like it these guys do better obviously because they're going against Spider-Man. You know, the fact that they're trying to do like a like an literal Marvel Avengers, Sinister 6 like story progression. It's just weird.
Right.
I don't see the point in it. Like,
I mean, I think I've said it 100 times. They just really wanted to play catch up, and they wanted to play catch up immediately. You know, the MCU has had almost 20 years at this point to build up and get to the Avengers, get to the big bads, you know? And now they're like, oh, let's start. Not Doomsday wasn't in Justice League, right? I never watched it. It was his lackey, right?
who's Lackey?
Doomsday.
Doomsday's.
Um,
Who was the bad guy in Justice League?
in Justice League. Oh, Darkseid. Yeah. Okay. So Darkseid's uncle, Steppenwolf.
Yeah, they're already trying to like go up to like Steppenwolf and Darkseid and probably well Doomsday was in Batman vs Superman, right? Or
Doomsday was Batman versus Superman. Yeah.
right, they tried setting that off immediately, and Doomsday is supposed to be like again one of the biggest bads in DC. Why like you're gonna go straight to Thanos in the first 2 movies? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that was always the dumbest thing ever. But like, okay, since we're on this for DC movies, okay, I enjoyed for what it was Zack Snyder cut. Um, it was obviously everyone can agree all the slow motion. I don't know if you guys watched it, but like all the slow motion shit that they had on there was just so fucking pointless half the time. Like,
Mhm.
I think there was a statistic out there that I think like an hour's worth of the movie was in slow motion or some shit like that,
Jesus.
or less. I don't
That's
know.
a
Like
lot of
maybe
time.
I'm all over. Like I don't quote me on this, but like I
Quoting him.
remember yeah I remember reading up on it and it was just bad. With how much slow motion they had in that movie.
The
Mhm.
Snyder Cut is also over 4 hours long, so
Right. Um, and you know what? Snyder Cut's Justice League did do justice for the Flash and Cyborg because that was like the biggest part were those two characters that had like a huge change compared to what was out in theaters.
mhm.
Mhm.
But I never really cared for Ezra Miller. Like they hyped him up so much for being Flash, and then he was also in the Fantastic Beast movies.
Yeah.
Uh, I never really cared for him, but so we're supposed to be getting the Flash movie, you know. So I don't know if it's finished or not, or unless they're just in post production right now. But dude got arrested. Ezra Miller got arrested for threatening people.
I'm
And then-
literally reading this right now.
Yeah, threatening people, and then I think he got into a fight at a bar later that night. But so he met this couple, and he was pretty much telling them that like he needed a place to crash, and the couple was just like, you don't get that from.
Karaoke bar.
Yeah, that was later on.
Yeah.
So he when he was at the couple's house or whatever, so he ended up like getting crazy with them. uh let's see, he burst into the room and said, "I will burn you and your slut wife." This fucking guy,
Jesus
this
Christ.
actor is supposed to have a huge spot. The Flash ended up saying this. Now, before I continue with this, years ago, I think this was right after Batman versus Superman or some shit like that, but years ago, he actually was caught on video for choking out a woman, I think. I don't know if it was a woman or a guy, but he was caught and nothing ever happened because, WB just like slid it under the rug. Just like they're actually trying to do with this one. But yeah, he
Guarantee he was high as shit on something.
I don't know. Maybe well, it seems like he was drunk for this other one, the karaoke bar, but
Yeah, days earlier, Miller allegedly harassed patrons at a karaoke bar. Late Sunday, police were called on Margarita Village in Hilo, where
Mm.
they said Miller yelled obscenities, grabbed a mic from a singing woman, and lunged at a man playing darts. The bar owner asked Miller to calm down several times to no avail. Uh, Police said a new release. Miller was arrested at the bar shortly after midnight Monday and charged with disorderly conduct and harassment. Miller was released on $500 bail.
You know who bailed him out?
Is it the director?
The other Flash.
The couple. The couple
No
that he
fucking
threatened.
way.
Lol.
Get away.
The couple that he threatened, yeah.
What the hell,
like-
dude?
How do they hope he would learn something from them bailing him out?
Bro, this is such a fucking wild story to hear about. And the fact that, like, all right, this is also putting WB in such a shitty spot. Like, every time the DCU is, like, getting their foot, like, you know, they're finally, like, making some good fucking moves with their movies, something happens. And now they got this. Like, The Flash hasn't come out yet. But like this obviously isn't the first time he's had an issue with a fan per se.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So he really needs to get taken off. Like
I'm sure a lot of people would love to have him replaced anyways.
He should not be the Flash anymore. Like this is the worst and best timing for DC / Warner Bros. To like get rid of him because the Flash isn't out yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they could just, I mean, they've already delayed this fucking movie for like 4 or 5 years already. What's another 4 or 5 years? It's not.
Just replace it with what's his name, Grant Gustin. Replace it with him. Like make him the focus of this. Like after this one, make it Flashpoint, whatever, and make it focus on Grant Gustin from now on. You know,
that would work.
like give me because that's the CW Flash. You know,
right? And people like him
like
too.
him.
Like lately, his fucking show has been garbage, but you know that doesn't change the fact that he's a good Flash / Barry Allen.
You know what I fucking love about that show? Since season 1, episode 1, the intro has been, "My name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive." But what's funny is all of his bad guys for the first 3 or 4 seasons or whatever are faster than him. Like, you're proving yourself wrong. This isn't your fucking intro.
Right. I always thought that was so weird because they did that as well with the Arrow shows. Like, I'm Oliver Queen or something like that. I need to be something different. Become something different.
Mm-hmm. Be something different. Become something different.
And then cue the Arrow. And they never called him Green Arrow. They always they just called him Arrow. The Emerald Archer or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Hood.
There we go. The Hood. Yeah.
It's like the Green Hood or something.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Nah, dude. This is just fucking wild. Like, what? The Fantastic Beast is also WB, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm not surprised if it was.
Because if it is, then that's another shitty thing. Like, there's 2 WB movies that Ezra Miller is a part of, and
it is WB.
And the Fantastic Beast movie, I think it just came out, didn't it, or is about to?
I don't think the Secrets of Dumbledore is out yet.
Because I've seen commercials for it.
Oh, April 14th it comes out to theaters near me.
It's about to come out. So like,
out,
now that's another thing too. Like he's been in all 3 of those movies. And
I guess its release date is the 6th.
Oh, this is the 3rd movie, huh? I haven't seen the 2nd one.
Yeah.
I watched both of them the other day. The Roommate.
Yeah, they're not bad.
They're pretty good.
Kara hates them
because she doesn't like Harry Potter, or what?
This is another weird thing though, because
that's funny, Billy.
WB, you know, so going back to Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
He was in the Fantastic Beasts. And
didn't they also take him out?
Yeah, they took him out. Before
over the issues with what's
Amber
her face.
Heard. Yeah,
Mhm.
before they even found out that she had just as much fault, if not more, than him.
Yeah, she was lying about most of it.
And now we got these two fucking incidents with Ezra Miller, and he's still a part of this shit show. That's fucked up, man. Like,
That's
what
some
exactly
Florida man
does
shit.
Ezra Miller have that would make WB prefer him over Johnny Depp?
Right.
Because this is just, there's no fucking way, dude. Like,
So that's some Florida man shit. So I decided to look up Florida man. One of the headlines. So there's Florida man gets 18 months in prison for threatening Nancy Pelosi. But the next one, Florida man accused of tackling deputy, kissing stepsister, attacking parents.
Like his own parents or just parents in general?
That's a fucking hat trick right there, dude.
Bro, the fucking screenshot of this.
Did he tackle the deputy first?
I don't know that, like, did he kiss his stepsister, walk out of the house, tackle a deputy? Like, I don't know.
I imagine he like got in a fight with his parents on his way out, made out with his sister, and then a deputy came up and he just fucking tackled the shit out of him.
Right. What if the deputy was his stepsister?
I don't think making out was the only thing you would have done in that case.
Actually,
Oh my god! All right, so
Fucking
there was a family member dialed 911 after a fight broke out. My stepdad is pulling a gun out on him. I'm scared, man. Please help me, said the caller. Deputies drove up to the chaotic scene of Babbitt Avenue, where they found his name is Slimmin on the ground fighting another male. Hey, everybody, get on the ground, shouted the deputy. The audio captured on his body cam. The deputy with his taser drawn appears to have the fight broken up when Slimmin charges the officer. It never had to happen, said Glenn Ford. Ford still has bruises on his face, blah blah blah. Oh, with the step. Okay, I shouldn't have skipped that. Ford still has bruises on his face and 2 fractured ribs from the fight with his stepson. He said it all started when he asked Russell to leave after Russell forcibly grabbed and kissed his stepsister. Ugh. He grabbed the dog leash. I was sitting at the table like you saw me. He came behind me. He pushed his mom out of the way, wrapped a leash around my neck, pulled me off the chair, and started strangling me right on the ground. Jesus fuck, dude.
that is insane.
Russell is facing 10 charges, including 8 felonies. Some of the charges include battery, child abuse, and resisting arrest.
And it was his birthday?
What the fuck? Was it his birthday?
That's what it says in the video. I'm sure you're reading it from Fox 35.
Yeah. Did you see the screenshot of this?
Yes.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
send you the
fucking God.
article, Z. Look at just the screenshot.
Please. Dude.
Oh yeah, the screenshot's just right fucking there on the link.
Is it really?
Yep.
What'd you send it on
I'm
Discord?
sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry for our listeners.
Wait. She was 16 years old too?
The stepsister? Jesus
Yeah.
fuck, dude.
That's nuts. What a fucking picture, dude.
Jesus Christ. What was wrong with that dude?
I mean, it's Florida.
Fucking-
What
I
do you
mean, it's Florida, man. Yeah.
What do you...
I mean, you
do you
expect the
expect?
16-year-old shit to be done in Alabama. Somebody
Yeah, I
watched
mean,
too
Florida's
much
a
porn.
close second, obviously, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ooh, Critical posted a video of him reviewing Morbius. I'm kind of interested to see what he says on it.
Mm. Did you guys... No, go ahead.
Good.
All right, because I'm going to sidetrack from this, but did
Oh,
you
keep
guys
up.
ever hear about Justice League Mortal?
No.
It was the Justice League movie that never was. And so I did, so, you know, everyone would agree that if DC would have, you know, taken the Marvel route, one movie at a time, it would have been better. I mean, look at them right now. They're doing a lot better. But to be fair, before the Avengers, everyone knew about the Justice League. You know, we grew up with that TV show. And
Right.
So them naturally just jumping straight into a Justice League movie, it would have been okay because it was, I wouldn't say fresh, but this movie was supposed to come out in like the late 2000s, before 2010s. And the story was actually pretty cool because it starts off with the funeral. Batman's not there. Everyone else has their suits in all black, so you know you can already assume it's going to be Superman that died. And Batman's using satellite Brother Eye. Batman shuts down the eye, leaves the eye, reactivates, and this is pretty much one of those things where he ended up. I think it was one of those things where like he ended up. Brother Eye ended up like using all the info that Batman had on these different superheroes and using it against them because, you know, he found out their weaknesses just in case. It was, man, it's actually a long story. I fucking wish there was like some spark notes on this shit, but
I always like the from the Justice League TV show that we grew up with. There was a line where they were pulling like Marvel Civil War where like let's turn ourselves in, let's give them our names, our identities, whatever. They were doing that to themselves, the Justice League, because they like I think they fucked up a city or something. So like let's turn ourselves in to give us our own justice. And they were telling Batman, they're like, you're turning yourself into let's meet up. He said, no, I'm not. He's like, what do you mean? Like it's a unanimous decision. And he hit the coldest line because I think earlier in the show they called him a part-timer because he wasn't there all the time. So they're like, well, you got to turn yourself in. He's like, no, I'm a part-timer, remember? Shuts off his camera and drives away. Like,
yeah, I did not realize. So I never really watched that show. I mean, I didn't grow up with cable, but I did watch an episode here and there. Did not know how, I wouldn't say ruthless, but just more like how he wasn't
how
a team player.
Batman was.
Yeah. Like, I just always assumed he was a team player because he was like around them a lot, but no, dude, he stuck to his guns and just, you know, said fuck you guys.
There was also that whole episode where they were talking about how something happened and like there were people like either copying the Justice League's powers or something like that or something of the sorts. And Batman was basically told them like, I have a contingency plan for all of you, including my fucking self. Like
Yeah.
I have like if any of you go bad, and they're like, why do you have that? It's just like because if you get fucking mind controlled, Wonder Woman, you could wipe out the entire planet. That's fucking why.
Yeah, I remember that. He's just like, you guys are idiots for not assuming or not actually wanting to do something like this. Just because you're good now doesn't mean, you know, something's gonna happen or not gonna happen down the line, you know.
Exactly. Especially like how many fucking villains have like mind control in that universe, you know?
Yeah. There was one episode on there that had nothing to do with the Justice League. It was the ending, the ending for Batman Beyond, because Batman Beyond was I think it was canceled. I don't know if one of you guys could like look that up and like confirm it, but they never really got to like send it off the way they wanted to, so they ended up making one last episode on Justice League, and it was one of the saddest fucking things ever. Because there's a current day with actually I don't, in terms of Batman Beyond, I guess this would be in the past because, you know, this was Justice League before Batman Beyond. But
real quick, after 52 episodes spanning 3 seasons and 1 direct-to-film feature film, the series was brought to an end in favor of the Justice League animated series, and plans for 4th season were then canceled.
Yeah, okay. So that's why the episode is on Justice League to, like, you know, give it a proper send-off. But so it's I think it started off with Batman on a mission with the family of like the cards, you know, like Jack, King, and Queen, and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It was like a family, and then there was this little girl that was
Ace.
yeah, she was some sort of telepath or something like that, but she was also like too powerful, I think, or just
Mhm.
like she just couldn't control her powers or whatever,
Her
something
powers were killing her.
something
Um,
like that, where she ended up having to die, um, but she didn't want to die, so she ended up doing something that caused Amanda Waller and a bunch of military people to like surround her or whatever. And Batman is just like, no, I'm going to do this myself. So this little girl is swinging, and you know, when you're just like sitting on the swing and just like
Oh.
rocking back and forth, he sits next to her and then he talks to her and he calms her down. And like, it's like one of the saddest fucking episodes ever. And then it also goes on with explaining how Terry McGinnis came to be. And Amanda Waller talks to him, and she's like, you know, Batman wasn't going to be around forever. So I wanted to make sure that there was some sort of way he can be around forever, even if it's not Bruce Wayne himself. So Terry McGinnis was technically a surrogate son of Batman. And it was just a really cool story and a really cool way of like ending the Batman Beyond series, because like that was my favorite show ever. Like that show, they actually did ended up putting it on the Saturday morning cartoons, and that's how I was able to watch it. But like, oh man, was that a wild ride of an episode, dude?
I just vaguely remember that scene of him sitting down with her. I don't remember anything outside of that.
it was such a fucking sad scene.
It
Yeah.
really was.
Random, super off topic at this point. You guys know Vincent D'Onofrio? Is that how you
Yeah.
say his name?
D'Onofrio.
Did you know that he was the bug man from Men in Black 1?
Yeah.
Or sugar. I didn't fucking know that.
He was also Private Pile.
Yep.
Fucking love Private Pile, dude.
Oh, Private Pile.
Full Metal Jacket, dude. What a fucking movie that was.
That was a fucking movie.
And like the majority of it was really just a cult following of the very beginning, where they're all in attention at their barracks, and Gunny just comes in and just shit talks everyone.
You know, he wasn't supposed to star in that role. They originally hired Arlie Ermy, who was Gunny, to teach the actor like how to do it, and he was going around and doing it in that first scene, and they're like, we just kept it and kept him because he was so fucking good at it.
Right. Even though that's pretty much what they did. Like, there was no acting in that.
Exactly what they did. No, that's exactly what they did.
Oh man, one of my favorite quotes from that was
There'll be
when
no bigotry.
he calls someone gay and he's like, I'm not gay, and he's like, bullshit, I bet you can suck a golf ball through a garden hose.
Only steers and queers come from Texas, and you don't look like no steer to me.
I don't see steers here. Yeah, that movie is so quotable just from those first like 15 minutes.
Oh man.
I absolutely love that shit, dude. But yeah,
The
I think
best part was in the
he ended up
beginning.
dying, didn't he? Like a couple years
Arlie
ago.
Ermy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty recent. Well, I want to say not like super recent, probably like 2019, 2020.
I would say that's kind of super recent.
I mean, 4
Yeah,
years.
Pretty recent.
Look, man, the last 2 years were a blur for everyone.
You're not wrong. 2018,
Anyways, what are you
April
gonna say, Brad?
15th.
So obviously everyone knows about the whole Will Smith slapping Chris Rock thing.
Yeah.
I hope so.
After that, some guy tweeted, or Vincent D'Onofrio was like basically saying, like tweeted saying like, this is unprofessional, blah blah blah. someone tweeted at him. He's like, "Okay, but what if he mentioned Vanessa?" And then Vincent D'Onofrio was like, "That's a different story."
Is it?
And the fact that you don't know anything about that, Brad,
I
blows
know
my load.
about it. I just never
Blows
watched it.
my load every time, Brad.
I know about
Isn't
If
it.
there
though?
was more of a reason than that, you need to get on that show.
You don't. You don't. So that's Daredevil, Billy,
All right.
and you don't embarrass Kingpin in front of. Is Vanessa his wife?
Mm,
Right.
Yeah.
You don't embarrass.
okay.
You don't embarrass him in front of Vanessa,
I
and
gotcha.
you don't make fun
Yeah.
of Vanessa. So, you know.
Yep. That's coming back.
Oh yeah, Billy, it's
Um,
coming back.
It's a coming back.
But I guess Chris Rock had a stand up like 1 or 2 days ago.
It was
And
that
he was-
weekend.
Yeah, and he was like, "I don't really have anything else to say. I wrote an entire show before that this weekend, so I'm just gonna go from there." I would have
man.
fucking doubled down.
Dude, his ticket sales skyrocketed after that. Like,
He
That's why a lot of people are thinking it's staged, because one, they could see Oscar views up, because it would like the views were up something ridiculous. Don't quote me on
there's
the
like
numbers, but like
56 million views on that clip alone, wasn't it?
well, so the Oscars themselves were up like 38% from last year, and last year was like their lowest they've ever gotten.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, "Oh, it's probably staged." One, to get more people interested. Two, to get attention on Will Smith, and three, to get attention on Chris Rock.
I mean, it's a
Mhm.
But-
possibility because supposedly
56% jump.
Yeah,
supposedly
last year.
they had asked Chris Rock if he wanted to like press charges or whatever, and he said no.
he said no.
And then now this one I'm not entirely sure, but apparently he kind of defended Will Smith afterwards, like from getting kicked out.
Can we talk about how Chris Rock took that like a fucking champ?
Bro, that shit looks
like-
so
It's-
weak.
It was strange because you heard it for one. Like
Mhm.
you actually heard it, but it was the way he walked up to him and wound up the
It was
slap,
fucking meh.
and he ended with his hand down at his side, like all like extra about it,
Mhm.
like it was a fake hit. But when you look at it, like he got hit, that it
Mhm.
wasn't like a. But I wonder how much like Will Smith was holding back too, because at the same time, like Will Smith, all of his roles, at least not recently, but a lot of his roles were him in. He has to be fit, you know. So this man beat up aliens for a living, you know.
That whole like transition, I don't know, that whole slap and then Chris Rock taking it just looked too fucking choreographed to me.
Right.
It
Mhm.
looked like it looked like it barely hit him. Now, unless fucking Will Smith is,
A bitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know. I don't give a fuck about that slap. Just,
Right.
Like I've been
I'm-
hearing everything about it like all week. I don't even. Have
I am
anything
just
else
so
to say about
fucked.
it.
Like, I'm tired of scrolling through Reddit and TikTok and seeing things about it. I do find it really funny that people immediately already started photoshopping things and putting it on TikTok and making like TikTok sounds like that. That was really funny.
Mhm.
Right.
But now it's already like, stop.
It's just whatever, man.
And
It happened.
From
fuck,
what I heard
fuck Hollywood.
too,
Fuck everyone in Hollywood. Like,
Right.
who cares?
yeah, from what I heard too, like 'cause I didn't watch the whole Oscars. Obviously, I only saw the bits and bits with the clap.
I can't even
Where
tell
is
you
that?
who was nominated for what.
But apparently, like Will Smith's or Chris Rock's roast of Jada, like wasn't even.
He-
It was tamer than what had been going on all night.
Right. Well, yeah, one he responded with like, that was a fucking like G.I. Jane joke, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It was more like a
He's like,
compliment.
could, and then
it
he's
could
like,
be
"I'm
taken
gonna
like a
stop."
compliment, yeah.
Right.
But
She's owning the look, I guess, you know.
Mm-hmm.
you guys remember? I think it was 2020 with Ricky Gervais.
I don't remember
Dude
what happened
was
with him.
going fucking insane. He was just talking shit to the crowd. He's like, and I know half of you were friends with Epstein. Come on, let's not pretend you guys
Oh,
weren't. Blah blah blah.
yeah.
He was saying
I
so
remember
much
that.
shit to
Mhm.
everyone in Hollywood. It was the greatest fucking thing ever, dude.
Right?
I didn't even know about him until that night either.
You didn't know about Ricky Gervais before that?
Nope.
That's wild.
Really?
Right, dude?
I feel like you,
Uh,
of all people, would have known about Ricky Gervais.
Why would
before
I
that.
know about him? What is he in? What does he do?
He's a comedian.
Like
Obviously.
literally everything.
He is in a lot
Okay,
of
but
shit.
what's everything?
Name something he hasn't been in.
Yeah. He's in Night of the
That's a
Museum.
good fucking question because I don't know
Like,
anything he's in.
He's in both Night of the Museums. He's in Muppets Most Wanted. Like, what more could you get?
Muppets Most Wanted. Yeah, because I'm gonna know he's in that fucking shit.
He was in Spy Kids 4. Come
Oh
on, you tell
my
me you never saw Spy Kids 4?
God, dude. What was he?
It's
Was he one of
Spy
the Thumb
Kids
Warriors?
3 though.
Spy Kids 3. Was that the one
Spy
with the
Kids
thumbs?
3. So no, the first one was the one focused on the thumbs because that was the
it was just
imagination
so
guy
fucking
with
creepy.
the thumb guys, you know. No, 3 was the video game one, Spy Kids 3,
Oh, yeah.
where Elijah Wood was in it.
Mhm.
Machete,
Shit, he's been in like all of them.
George Lopez was the big bad.
Yeah, because he was in that like computer screen. Or was that am I thinking of Shark Boy? and
No,
Lava Girl?
you're thinking right. And then Sylvester Stallone.
And Sylvester Stallone.
What a
Was
cast.
he a good guy or bad guy in that one?
I think he was a good guy. Because George Lopez was the bad guy, so I think he was a good guy.
George Lopez was the bad guy.
Yeah, no, he was like a big robot, and then you had his
Mhm.
face in the belly.
Elijah
Okay.
Woods was just the guy.
He was the guy because there was the whole thing like the
that's the
guy's
thing.
gonna come and save everybody, and they thought he was the guy, and no, it turns out it was the brother from the Spy Kids family.
Okay, so Ricky Gervais was in Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Office,
He's mostly a
Louie,
comedian.
Sesame
Mhm.
Street.
Sylvester Stallone was the toy maker. George Clooney
Right.
was in Spy Kids 3.
Was he?
He was. And Steve Buscemi.
And Rob Schneider.
Steve Buscemi was in 2.
Steve, was it 3 or 2 where Steve Buscemi was like, do you think God stays up
God.
there because he's terrified of what he created?
Yeah.
Or whatever that quote was.
Yeah.
Steve
Like the deepest fucking
Buscemi.
quote in all movies, and it came from fucking Beef
Spy
Buscemi.
Kids.
Beef Buscemi.
There's a streamer I watch where he just has a picture of Steve Buscemi like right behind him at all times.
That's
And then
amazing.
I think I showed Kara that one time. So then Kara made Steve Buscemi her flag on her island in Animal Crossing.
That's awesome.
She confuses Steve Buscemi with Willem Dafoe. And I think there was like a Photoshop picture of like them combined, and it's just super cursed.
Well, then Steve
How do you
Buscemi
confuse those
should just
two?
be called Willem Defriend.
Danny Trejo was also in all of the Spy Kids movies.
Yeah, he's Uncle Machete.
Yeah.
Was Hector in there? The dude that plays Hector in every movie?
Hector?
Oh, you guys wouldn't know. I don't know why I'm telling
No.
you guys this. You guys aren't even car guys.
Yeah.
Actually,
Ooh, what's a car?
I'll take that back. Brad's the car guy.
Brad
Like
doesn't
on
know
top
the
of Brad
cars.
being the anime guy, the fucking Harry Potter guy, the Star Wars guy, Brad's the car guy.
Brad's just
I
like
have
one of those
driven more
well-rounded
cars than
nerds.
both of you combined, but I'm not the car
See
guy.
what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
even know how many
See what I'm
cars I've
saying?
driven.
Brad is the car guy.
How many cars do you think I've driven, Brad?
2.
At least 3.
It was 3.
That's
Because it was my SUV. Well, I guess technically 4, because my SUV, my dad's truck, my dad's car, while my SUV was getting worked on, and then when the SUV went down, I alternated between the truck and the car, and then I got my own car when I graduated from college.
Damn. You mean the one that you didn't know how to change a battery on?
No, I knew how to change the battery. I just didn't know that I needed like 19 different ratchet sets for it. Because every other battery I've worked on, you just fucking unclamp it and you pull it right the fuck out. You don't have to ratchet off a fucking thing that keeps it in there because the batteries don't even fit in the base for it.
I am
all I'm saying is
the
Brad
one
would have done
guy.
it in like 2 minutes.
I'm the one guy that if my car is dead on the side of the road, I'm fucked. Like, I know how to change a tire. I've changed a tire before, but
That's good
that's
at least.
about it. The only I'm assuming I have. So okay, when you buy a new car, I guess I've never actually looked under, but when you buy a new car, they give you the jack. I think they give you the big wrench too, right?
You're
No.
supposed to have, it's supposed to have some kind of,
Supposed to come with it.
yeah, it's supposed
The
to
older
have some
cars
kind
do.
of,
The only thing
yeah.
I don't have is I don't have jumper cables in my
Okay,
car, and I
you
should
know
probably.
what is
I
fucking
got a lot of
cool
shit in my car.
that they don't do enough of or at all anymore? So the older BMWs, like in the 90s,
Mhm.
they had their own separate jacks. So you had this tool, this type of like cranking tool, where there was a hole on each corner of the car in case you had a flat tire, and you open up the hole and you put this crank in, and then you just crank a jack that's already under the body,
Mhm.
and that way you don't need to bring a jack with you. Like, that is so fucking neat, and the fact that they don't do that anymore, like.
Can I just mention that I really like it when you talk about jacking and cranking?
And Carter
Oh
did.
yeah, Daddy.
I'm close. I'm close. I want you to keep talking.
You're pre.
Did I ever tell you
I'm gonna
guys?
pre. I'm gonna pre.
Did I ever tell you guys the time that my roommate had a flat tire
No,
and her and her mom didn't know how to
Please.
change it?
do tell.
So the roommate likes to hit curbs, right? A lot.
Okay.
And she
Likes to
finally
hit
hit one
curbs.
curve too much and it popped her tire. She was like down the road. She was doing an Uber, no, not an Uber, it's a DoorDash delivery. And she had just dropped the food off and was like on her way home. And she hit a curb, like her tires were, and it was only on one side. You could tell which side she's always hitting because both tires were fucked up. But she calls me and she's like, "Hey, like, I'm just down this road, like maybe 3 blocks. Do you think that you could come and like change my tire?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." I was like, have you never changed a tire before?" Mind you, she had only recently gotten her license at that point in time. Well, I say recently, she had it for a little bit, but still her first car. And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I start walking down there because she said it was close. It turned out to be a lot fucking farther. So I was sweating when I got there. Um, but her mom was there and is like, "Yeah, like I know you're supposed to do these things, but like I don't quite remember, and I didn't want to like mess anything up." And I was like, "I should have asked you before I left, and I should have driven here, but you do have the freaking crossbar and a jack, right?"
Oh,
And she's like,
man.
"Yeah, we got one that came with the car." I was like, "Okay." Mind you, it was one of those ones that you have to like crank.
Right.
And I'm like, it's like maybe 2 inches off the fucking ground. I'm sitting like cranking and hitting my hand on the asphalt.
Brad's
I'm
fucking
like, I
loving
fucking
this.
hate this. Normally, right?
That's how my Taurus was. I had to use that one.
Well, because I've got, when I had the SUV, I bought a 2-ton floor jack. So I just fucking use that, slide it in, pink, 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 and it's done.
Is it
But
so? It's like a pedal, right?
mine's not. Mine, it has a little bar that you put in, you twist, and you just like pump it,
Oh,
pump it harder. Yeah, and you just
right.
fucking,
Okay.
then
Because
you pull
the
the
only
bar
one that I
out.
used was it was a cranked one, and my tire was flat on an
Mhm.
incline in my fucking
Oh, fuck that.
in my what's it called in my
Mhm.
driveway, and I had to change my tire there, and it was like one of my back tires. It was
Yeah,
my
fuck that.
it was my driver's side back tire.
Nice.
Yeah, fuck that shit. But
But
yeah, I
the
freaking,
fact that you didn't even think about driving there and bringing your own shit to begin with, like,
I
especially
know, because
especially when
You know
you
who you're dealing
asked
with,
her,
Billy.
I know. Well,
especially
I
when
just
you asked her,
assumed.
like,
Yeah. I mean, I just assumed. I was like, you know what? Like, she's got something in her car, like I do, because normally
He
she's at
gave
least prepared. But I was like,
benefit of the
fuck, like
doubt.
I should have brought
at
my shit.
least she's prepared. Yeah.
Prepared with the most
Didn't she
basic
just?
equipment.
And you knew she just got her license too.
I mean,
So
I knew
you
how to
guys,
change a tire. I knew how
that
to change a
fucking
tire when I got my
response,
license.
dude. Oh, this is the second
So,
time
so
you've said that.
you guys know that I don't take my lunch breaks. So today,
You don't
out of
take a
all
lunch break?
days, I usually can't. But today, out of all days, we were staffed enough where I could like ask my coworker. I was like, "Hey, I don't even need to take my full lunch. I want to run to the gas station that's 2 streets away. Are you cool if I just dip out real quick?" Um, First of all, halfway, like when I got in my car, I realized I didn't put myself on lunch breaks. I'm like, "Well, fuck! Now I got to make this a little bit faster." Well, as I'm driving, again, there are 2 lights that are, 50 feet apart from each other that when I go out of, the gas station's right there.
Mhm.
About to go through the first light, head on collision, right fucking in front of
Jesus
me. 2
Christ.
cars, bam, right in front of me. I didn't even see it. The 2 cars next to me, I didn't even see it. I just fucking heard it. I go to the gas station, I go in, and I'm like, the easiest way to get back around would take me probably 15 minutes to go all the way around to get back to my place. That is how shitty this intersection was. So I'm sitting at the fucking light just waiting to turn left when all these cars are all backed up or whatever, and I'm on my phone, uh like trying to text my coworker like, hey, it's gonna be a little bit longer. Like I felt like it was gonna end up being like 30 minutes or something, like much longer than I told him was gonna be. Um Fucking cops are already there. Like
Mhm.
I look down at my phone and I look up and there's just cops behind me. I go, oh fuck, okay. Now I go over. Cops go over there and I see them rip off the fucking door to get the person out of the driver's seat.
Christ.
Jeez. Imagine.
Fucking people, man.
And I was just talking to Kara. Like, so again, I didn't see the accident. I just heard it because the cars were blocking my view.
Mhm.
I was just talking to Kara the other day. I was like, have you ever seen an accident like in person? Like I've only ever heard accidents or I've only been there like minutes after that it just happened. I've never actually seen someone
You've
hit
never
somebody
been
else.
in one either?
I rear-ended one guy when I was like 18. I
How could
literally
you have
just
done that?
I tapped his car. There was no damage whatsoever. And when I was a kid, we were in a hit and run where they dented in our back door or whatever,
Jesus.
or back like tail light, broke it, but never been in an accident. No.
When I used to drive over the road, I remember seeing, I remember seeing that there was this trailer in front of me, and there was a minivan behind it. Dude obviously had no patience, like a lot of people do when it comes to trailers, but like he ended up crossing over to the next lane, and in the process of doing that, he somehow managed to get half of his rear bumper caught on the trailer, and it just like snapped it
Oof.
off.
Ooh.
And he just kept driving. Like both of the
Ooh.
drivers just kept going, and like it makes sense for the truck driver because
Mhm.
I don't know if you guys know, but you actually can't really feel anything
Yeah,
like
it's not like it's
hit the back of the
physically on
trailer
you.
unless you actually like end up slamming something on the trailer. You're almost
Mhm.
always never gonna end up feeling it or knowing about
Right.
Mhm.
it. So the fact that the minivan, caused the accident and just kept going, like
There, I saw
He,
this. I've seen a couple videos with truckers where like one was just the truck was just driving and there was a car just lodged under its trailer and it's just going. So it's like he doesn't see
oh yeah,
that. It's like no, he probably does it actually.
right.
right.
Another one I
Z.
saw was like someone slammed on their brakes in front of a truck. So the truck slammed on its brakes and managed to avoid an accident, but all of the cargo went through the front of the trailer and actually broke the trailer out and hit the cab.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brad.
You're fine. Z, do you remember Megan's brother, the one with the Mustang?
Yeah.
So chick I used to date had her brother had a Mustang that he lowered the lowest you could get it to the point where he couldn't go up his own driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he's been in so many fucking accidents. And while he was in that Mustang, some guy almost hit him
Mm-hmm.
to the point where he moved as a semi was coming over, and he
Oof.
cleared under the fucking semi and got to the other side. And then
Very
Fuck
shitty.
that, man.
yeah, and then there was another day. So getting off of the highway going to where we all worked, there was like a pretty tight wraparound after the highway. Um,
Mhm.
he said he was going the speed limit. I don't believe him. But the way it works is it's a wraparound this way, um, grass divot into people coming onto the highway this way.
Mm-hmm.
He basically spun out or drifted or whatever onto the grass up into oncoming traffic and got nailed head fucking on by a car going like 50 miles an hour
Christ.
already.
Jesus Christ, dude.
God damn, he didn't put the engine in his fucking lap.
That's fucking wild.
Right.
Right? Jesus Christ.
Did you
That's
guys
some
hear
was
terrible
nuts.
about
shit.
when was this? This was earlier this week. I forgot what day it was. It might have been March 28th. There was a huge pileup on I-81 in Pennsylvania where 6 ended up dying and then 24 injured. That's, dude, like the snow in
That's a big
Pennsylvania. I remember
pileup.
driving through I-80 and a
Mhm.
few years back when I finally got out of over the road that
Mhm.
same year, there was a huge pileup on I-80. And I used to drive through I-80 all the fucking time. And it's kind of crazy there. Like everyone drives usually like 70 plus miles an hour.
Right.
Mhm.
And the, you know, there was like snow over there. So people just are even dumber when it comes to driving on the snow. And there was a huge pile up there. I don't remember looking up the news to see who was injured and whatnot, but it was just a giant one. Like I'll send you guys a picture because it stretched out for like a few hundred feet, maybe even more, but shit was crazy. And now seeing another pile up in again Pennsylvania, like, dude, the winter time for Pennsylvania is no fucking
away.
joke, dude. Like,
We get a lot of emails about like those types of things at work because usually it's like we have to move like a lot of ventilators and like different medical equipment, you know, to and from hospitals out in those places. And um, even though I route the Midwest, I get a lot of like, you know, huge accident on this road, you know, don't take, you know, make sure your drivers don't go this way. And I always get included in those emails because those are like urgent emails that everyone needs to see.
right.
Mhm.
But yeah, this shit's crazy. The oh man, I got one story which reminded me of another story. Yesterday, I called a client. I have to be kind of careful with how I say things because I'm under
Mhm.
I'm under contract to not say certain things. I called a client to get something moved to them. And I'm like, hey, is this you know, Mr. Smith? I was like, no, this is Mrs. Smith because Mr. Smith just died. And the way I answer the phone or the way I talk to people is I'm really upbeat and I'm like, hey, how's it going? You know, blah blah blah. It's like my
Mhm.
husband just died. Fuck.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
shit.
that was like the one of the like two moments where I felt like absolute shit.
Mhm.
The other one was back in like November. There was a like one of the things where they put up Christmas trees in like a town square type thing, and this guy purposely decided to drive an SUV through a crowd, killing a bunch of people.
Oh, I think I
Um,
heard about that.
God
it was
damn.
in Wisconsin,
Mhm.
and I was in on duty, and I had to make some phone calls, and I had to tell certain clients no to certain items, and I felt like absolute shit when I learned what I had to tell them no to, because it's just
Right.
like I learned like a bunch of kids died in that, and I'm like, I hope that those kids didn't need the items that I couldn't get them.
Right.
So that was
Damn.
fucked up.
So, on that note, I wanted to look up. I wanted to find some kind of story that had to do with April 1st, and what better place to go to than Today I Fucked Up subreddit? Let me just read this because it's not too long. But actually, today I work in a small business, 7 employees, and this morning we had our normal roundup meeting discussing what our daily tasks would be. My colleague told us about his task for the day and then mentioned that he had his yearly review meeting at the end of the day, so it would take up to an hour for him or the last hour of the day. Myself and a few others joked around and said we heard he was going to be fired. Sarcastically, we all laughed about it. And then we went about our day. After this review meeting, just as we're about to leave, he walked back into the office and I blurted out, "Hey, what are you doing in there? I thought you were getting fired," with a grin on my face, doing finger guns at him. He said, yeah, I've just been fired. I thought you were joking this morning," which we were. None of us expect the business owner had, and none of us except the business owner had any idea. I don't think he likes me anymore. I think he was joking with it being April 1st, but no. It turned out that his yearly review happened to fall on April Fool's Day and he got fired for real. So.
Damn.
Oh,
Jesus.
shit, man.
I remember when you guys were like, "Hey, no, don't worry, you're gonna get a promotion," and I got fired.
Good times,
You
man.
mean when Mango did that?
Yeah.
all of you are fucking
There was
involved.
there was a time when I was in high school that something similar happened. Um, except for instead of getting fired, it was someone broke into the school, and like the door was all kinds like there were a couple doors. We had several layers of doors. It was just like fucked up. Like someone took a crowbar to them. And we thought they were joking because they said it over the school announcements. Like, yeah, like someone broke in and stole the softball fundraiser money, which was like $400 or something. And we're like, oh, okay, like April 1st, funny joke. And then we like walked by the hallway and all the fucking doors were busted. We're like, maybe that wasn't a joke. Turned out it wasn't. Someone actually did break in and steal shit.
Oh, shit.
Right. That's wild.
You know
Fucking
what that
kids,
reminds me
man.
of? Fucking insane. So, I think it was our senior year in high school, Brad. Unless it was the year before. But for the senior prank, when
We're talking about the security brawl thing.
no, so someone decided to, um, I don't know, I don't know if you ever heard of it, but someone decided to put oil or whatever, make the stairs,
No, the stairs.
make the stairs slippery. So, uh, you know, it worked,
Mhm.
Right.
but also a pregnant lady ended up slipping on
Oh,
the stairs. Never found out who it was, but that's
fucked.
that is fucked, man. Did you guys do a senior prank, Billy?
No, so okay, yes and no. So the year before us, um, I think they did something like the school was very upset with what they did, and I think it was just like they went to some of the least liked teachers in the school and literally filled their classrooms up with balloons and shit. Um, so they're like, hey, like no senior prank this year, or you have to get your senior prank approved by the office. And we're like, well, that's stupid. So our senior prank was just park like assholes in the school parking lot. So we had cars parked like taking up three space. People brought in tractors just to take up space. It was dumb, and people had to move because they were actually blocking off the whole parking lot. And they're like, hey, like if shit happens, like the fire trucks need to get through, so move your fucking cars. It was stupid. Lamest senior prank fucking ever. All because the year before us ruined it. Mind you, the year before us had kids that also went around and got in trouble for stabbing other kids with needles multiple times.
Oh,
So,
oh shit. Well, do
Yeah,
we
well-
have stabbings for you?
I was gonna say at BHS we had a couple just straight up stabbings. There was
Two-
one
two in
our
1 week.
freshman year.
2 in 1
Yeah.
week, yeah.
Freshman year, the first guy, it was like a gang thing. Guy was in the bathroom or in the hallway, whatever. Got stabbed a bunch of times and then tried running to the hospital, which is like a quarter mile down.
Yeah, so he just left a trail of blood on the way.
Yep.
Jesus
I
Christ.
think
then-
I think Summer said she was the one that saw, like, she went in the hallway and she like saw all the blood in the hallway.
Interesting. I
And
knew
then the other
I-
one was
I knew
the
of the
screwdriver,
guy.
right?
Yeah, Screwdriver was Danielle's brother.
Yeah.
So
It was
was-
during like homecoming week or whatever.
it was that
During the football game
Yeah.
across the
Jeez.
street.
So this guy,
Christ.
he's a senior, and he ended up making a rap song about our school football team. So
Mhm.
halftime he ended up playing it, And then I ended up leaving after that. And in the morning, I wake up and I just see like a bunch of Facebook statuses talking about that. Like, holy fuck, dude just gets stabbed by a screwdriver. Like, goddamn.
Someone was
See,
out to
my
get him.
30-year-old coworker knows about King Sosa.
Dude, King Sosa's the shit.
Fuck's King
Hometown.
Sosa.
The most famous person from Bolingbrook.
My hometown.
It's my hometown. My hometown. See, what I remember too is even so, King Sosa, Alex, was a special needs guy from our high school, and I just remember like the football team being so defensive over him. Like if anyone tried making fun of Alex, like they would go and beat the fuck out of them, because like I mean, Alex is just different, you know.
Right.
And like that's one reason. Like I was talking to somebody about it, I'm like, you know, like Bolingbrook High School is shitty, but like it's also like one, super diverse, you know, and two, like, you know, stuff like that, you know, like we didn't like look down on, you know, people for being different and shit like that. So
Right. Yeah, whenever there were fights, it was I feel like it was almost between like friendlies, I guess. Cuz there you never
Yeah.
really heard of anything like a prejudice type of move where like, you know, someone harasses like a special kid or whatever. Like everyone was really chill about that.
you beat the fuck out of each other for actual problems.
Pretty much.
Made a song called The
Like
Streets of
I
Bolingbrook.
remember this one time in band camp. This was freshman year also. So I normally would go to one spot that entire freshman year, but like I ended up just deciding to walk around before my first period started. And I ended up going through this hallway that I never go to. And I'm like talking to a friend, and I just see this guy with his girl, and then a bunch of these girls come up to him, and they're just like yelling because apparently he was messing around with like some of them or whatever. And all of them gang up on the guy. All the girls gang up on the guy. They just start like fucking scratching him, and they literally threw him into a locker. Like,
Our lockers were not big either.
they were not. I mean, they didn't stuff him in there, but they threw him in there. Like,
Should have stopped him in there.
yeah, right. It's just some of these things were just wild to see. I loved it.
Z, where was your locker at?
I don't know, man.
Mine was
I
in
don't
the
know.
A wing.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I ever knew what wings were what except the A wing.
Well, so A wing, right? And then like as you're looking at the A wing's like on the far left, right?
Yeah.
A, B, C, D. So it's just
Okay.
divided. B and C were in the middle, and then D wing was the one where it went up to the third floor. So Billy, A wing was the artsy wing, where the fucking
Makes
band
sense.
kids and
Mhm.
theater kids and all that shit are, right?
Makes sense on why you were there.
Brad was
B-
a bandy.
That I was not a bandy. I was not in
look-
band in high school.
You are. You look like it.
I was not in band in fucking high school.
Don't lie to them.
But
Brad.
they put my shit top floor of the fucking A wing, where all of my classes were in the goddamn D wing. I went to my locker once throughout all 4 years of fucking high school.
You had the same locker every year?
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That
They gave
locker
us
you were
different
assigned
years.
to, that was it for those 4 years. So then mine was in the B wing. Then
Ours
I always just booched off of
It
people
was-
in the B wing.
mine was right there by the corner stairs.
Yeah.
we had it. So my school is a junior senior high school, so it had 7th through 12th grade. And if you were in 7th and 8th grade, you were pretty much on the second floor. Mind you, the second floor was just one hallway. But sometimes you would have classes down on the
At
first
your high
floor.
school?
Yeah,
How big was your high school?
not that big. 600 people total
Oh, that's
from
right,
7th to
Indiana.
12th grade.
You're like what,
Yeah.
butt fuck middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah, and it was like it was a school in between two like fucking farm towns. So not
Really,
much going on, like a village, and
Our graduating class was about 800 people.
mine was 85. So
85.
and it was 5th out of 85.
Fuck, man.
God
Hey,
damn.
you know what's
But-
hilarious? So I don't know if you're on Facebook ever, Brad, but I do
He's
go
never
on
on
there for the
Facebook.
memes.
We
Mhm.
have they're planning a
a
10-year
reunion.
anniversary
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's
Oh shit, that's
every
next
single
year.
time they post something about it, it just sounds like it's gonna be a fucking shit show.
No one's
It always
going.
is. Yeah.
Right.
Why would anyone want to go to their high school reunion?
Z, there's a I'll message you who it is, but I saw one post where like, hey, should we bring alcohol? Yes or no? And there was like
I saw that
30
post.
votes for yes, and then this kid said no, and this is the one guy, Billy, that like, oh, you know, he fucking says no. Like he's that one
he
fucking
says
geek.
no.
So it was
It's the
Brad,
one-
right?
This is the same kid. This is the same kid who snitched on us about to have a food fight in middle school.
No
Like, we planned a
fucking
food fight.
way. That
We
was
planned a
That's
food
fucking
fight, and this
funny.
is the kid who
sixth
snitched on
grade.
it
By the
before
end
it
of
happened.
sixth grade, we were all so fucking excited for it, dude. And then they were just like, "Nah, you motherfuckers aren't doing shit." And then
They
I
set
remember,
up. They set up all of the security guards during our lunch.
I do
period and
remember
everything.
They had
though.
security
I do
guards?
remember one kid, Terrion. I don't know if you ever remember him, but
I
he
do.
just
He's-
never
he's-
gave
he's
a
the-
fuck about anything. And he threw.
Tyrion's the one who the Tyrion's the one who took his girlfriend and threw her into the wall.
No, that's a different guy.
What's
That's a
it?
different guy I'm thinking of. Yeah, yeah. So, but I remember that. Yeah, that was fucked up.
Tyrion
So-
looked like Ti.
Yeah, but
right?
he was short. He
Yeah.
was shorter than us.
Yeah.
He had so he
That's
had this
possible.
this little cup of mustard, and he fucking threw it across the. And of all people, it hits Nathan Crocker with the white shirt. You just see a fucking line of mustard go up to his face. I'm like, oh damn, food fight
That's
didn't even
awesome.
happen, but he was still a victim. And then
Oh,
another
poor
friend of
Nate.
mine was just like, man, I wouldn't pretend like we were in a food fight. So he got like fucking, he dipped his fingers in the ketchup and just like put it on his shirt. Yeah, everyone was fucking excited for that food fight, dude. Like, oh my god. The
And
fact-
this little
We're gonna have a food fight on, April 1st. Please bring security guards.
Right. And then the following year,
okay.
Cameron ended up throwing a stink bomb into one of the trash bins.
It wasn't a stink bomb. It was a works bomb where you pour it's like aluminum foil and I don't know if I'm supposed to say this on YouTube because this is how you create an actual bomb, but aluminum foil and some type of like cleaning solution or whatever, and you mix it into a bottle, and it doesn't make like a big explosion, but it makes it loud.
Right.
And he put it in there and it made a big boom, and he went to juvie for that, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah, that dude went
That's-
straight to Phoenix. Like he did not.
Yeah.
He did not go to the regular classes that we had. So Phoenix.
Phoenix Billy was the bad kid classes, like the guys
Yeah.
who just beat the shit out of each other.
Get into fights, just bad kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that's usually found in 2 liters, right? The works bomb.
Are you looking it up right now?
No.
Yeah.
April
all.
2nd,
We are not
Indiana
associated
man.
with Billy.
and I didn't specify what it was. I didn't specify any dimensions, any levels of fluidity.
Look, man. Of course, the fucking white kids know about this shit.
I only know it because Cameron told me how to make it.
See what I mean? Cameron was
Cameron
white
told me
too.
how to make it, and I made one, and I threw it into the woods.
Oh man. Yeah, Cameron. That dude was always starting problems, and he started problems one day with this guy that was equally fucking annoying, but he would never actually fight people. And like, so he was wailing on the guy, and the dude took it like
Set
a
up-
champ.
Set up the scene real quick. We are in line at gym class, about to go into the locker room, and both of these guys step out, and Cameron just starts wailing on the kid, and you can finish your story.
Yeah, he got a good amount of licks on him, and then fucking the kid ends up standing up because the guy ended up getting held back by the teachers. He stands
Mhm.
up, gets one good fucking hit on his face, like straight on his nose, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Dude
because
just starts
I don't think
bleeding.
it broke his nose. Well, so Cameron had a very notable
Punchable face.
fucked up nose. No, fucked up nose. Like his nose was already fucked up before that. Like you could tell he's been
Because he has
punched in his face a
punchable
couple
face.
times.
Right.
A literal punchable face, yeah. And he punched him right in the nose, and blood just gushed all down his fucking shirt immediately.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck, man.
And the guy who threw the punch again, he got the shit beaten out of him. Like, you know, if Cameron did that to me, I'd probably be on the ground, you know, bloody the fuck up. This guy just and laughing the entire time too, because that's how this kid was. He was just laughing the entire time he was punching in the face.
Oh man. Was there is there an annoying kid that you can remember instantly, Billy?
I mean, I don't think that there was any one kid that was particularly annoying to everybody. I think that each friend group had different people that they found annoying. So like me, my dad always called me like some weird anomaly because I was a nerd who got straight A's except for English was always a B plus. And then I was a jock because I played 3 sports every year except for freshman year. I only did 2. And then I also did like choir and madrigals. So like I was
What the fuck?
I had a
Richard?
lot of extracurriculars and like
Who
I was a
are
part of a
you,
lot of
dude?
friend groups.
Sing me a song right now.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Billy and choir, dude.
Fuck yourself. It's been a while since I've sang, but I don't know. There were probably a couple people that I found annoying, and I mean, so we have this thing that we say that my high school was cursed with some kind of death that happens with every graduating year. So we had one senior class where they had 2 deaths, one overdose and one was in a car accident. And the one that was in a car accident in particular, um, he stole one of my high school girlfriends, and he was also the kind of guy who threw a party when his parents died in a car accident. So I already didn't like him, but a lot of people at school loved him. So when he died, I was like kind of insensitive and be like, man, like good riddance. And
Fuck that guy.
all of my friends were like, dude, what? I was like, fuck that guy. Like, he was an asshole.
Damn.
But he didn't deserve to die. Yeah, fuck that guy.
It's like, I don't care if he did or didn't. He got what he was coming to him when he threw a party for his parents dying.
I wish I did it.
Shit was my car.
Holy shit, dude. There's a kid that died in high school during one of the football games. He ended up getting tackled really hard and just
Jesus Christ.
he had a seizure. I think it came out that it wasn't caused by the tackle, but on the bench had a seizure. But imagine being the last guy to tackle him and think that he just killed a fucking kid.
Right. Jesus Christ.
Again, at a
Or you
homecoming
could
game,
just
I'm
be
pretty
Billy
sure.
and be like, yeah, fuck that guy.
I mean, and so the kind of person that I was in high school, right? Like, I just gave no shits if I didn't like you. Like, if I liked you, yeah, sure. If I thought you were cool and
Look,
hung out with
man,
you, like, whatever.
If you're I would expect that much from some kid that fucking goes into choir class, plays 3 different sports, gets a fucking B in your native language.
An A+ in German.
Like, I would I would expect that attitude from you, Billy.
But yeah, like freaking oh man, what I don't remember what I was gonna say, but yeah, it was fucking I didn't give a shit. Like, fuck that guy. I still don't give a shit. Fuck that guy.
I remember I don't know if it was 8th grade or 9th grade, but there was this huge accident between I think it was two or three kids. My brother knew them. My brother was friends with them. And his whole friend group, you know, they knew him. And supposedly they were in a car and they were just like speeding. They ended up getting into a huge car crash, and I think all 3 of them died.
Jesus Christ.
think it was right outside the school too.
But I just remember my brother being excited to look at the news because his friend was gonna be talking to the fucking the news reporter. He was just like, "Oh, it's
Hey,
my
oh,
boy.
my-
That's my boy. That's my guy."
Fucking Jesh.
We had something like that at our school too. They actually had an award for it for our athletes called the Zoe and Zane Triplet Award. And their last name was Triplet, but they were twins. And apparently one had gotten in an accident right in front of the school, and the other one was riding his motorcycle to the scene of the accident and got in an accident, and both died that same day.
Fuck.
What
Right?
the fuck?
Oh my god, dude.
Well, they actually were triplets, and now he's just one.
Oh,
This is
God.
what's Soul Survivor.
I
Jeez.
fucking imagine that. Well, on that fucking note, guys, this has been the Mere Nonsense Podcast.
Bear.
Deuces.